Alright, you'll see the animals coming up, sniffing plants and so on, putting their scent on the plants, scratching at the burrow. You may see some doing other scent marks here as well, and there's even one going up on guard now. Well, not that good at going up. Again, they use their thick muscular tails, as I mentioned, almost like an extra leg or tripod. When they were sunning their bellies this morning, warming up, that was happening as well, of course. The tails are not prehensile like a spider monkey's tail, so they're not holding onto anything with the tails, so it's a support. Dominant female has just come up. She's got an obvious scar on the left hand side of her face, just under her eye mask, you may have noticed there. Alright, that's basically more begging. It's time for food, and someone's alarmed them. They're coming back to the burrow. And some play fighting. Definitely a day where they're in good condition. There doesn't seem to be much rush to go and look for food yet. And there's a little growl, warning not to come any closer to that food. Sometimes the meerkats won't allow anyone else near their food, so the calls actually keep the others away from them. It's only the babies who are actually allowed to come up and take food from older animals. If a baby goes up to a baby who has food, they'll attack each other. The baby coming up to ask for the food, basically. And there we go. I was just saying, that's what happens. It's my food, get your own, is what's basically going on here. Babies are not allowing anyone else near their food. Even the one who had the food, they'll just take it over. That's going to be seen quite clearly there. So quite simply put, meerkats are not cooperative hunters. It may seem like they're all moving together and being cooperative, but the sounds they make get louder and louder as they get closer together until they become aggression. And really what that's about is it's basically saying, this is my food, this is mine, get your own or else, I've warned you. So the sounds get louder and louder as they get closer together, to keep them apart and together at the same time.
How long does it take for the babies to get to adult size?
That's a really good question as well. It's about 12 months or so, then when they reach maturity. From about 9 months they could potentially breed, but they still have some of their juvenile characteristics. And they're not as effective at finding food yet and so on, almost like teenagers. So yeah, 12 months or so. Alright, so they've renovated this burrow a bit, done a bit of digging, done some scent marking, while the babies are playing up ahead. Others of course are guarding. So quite simply put again, the same generation does not share food. Oh, this is a scorpion. Please everyone have a look. This is so rare to see.
Oh my god.
Oh yes. Very, very rare. Now this is a truly unedited version of scorpion feeding to babies. No one has put the scorpion there, of course. And let's have a look. Now that scorpion doesn't have neurotoxic venom, but the older animal's chewing it up, and maybe the baby will get it. But as I mentioned, yes, if you snooze, you lose. If you don't get there in time, you miss out. That's what happens. Alright, so that baby just wasn't begging loudly enough. But that is a burrowing scorpion, a Pistophthalmus. It's got very big pincers, so it crushes its food basically. The sting is really almost like an afterthought. Now the really toxic ones in South Africa quite often have very big tails and small pincers, chelipeds. And that's because they often have a very powerful venom. And then the small pincers are just used to hold the prey really, rather than damage it. Alright, so that baby is now following that one closely to find out if there's any more food. But again, if a baby had a piece of food and another baby came up, they would fight with one another. So they'll play for one moment, but that's it. There's a pup feed. A juicy Coleoptera larva. Did you see that big white grub? Yeah. It's a beetle grub. And I brought it up to the baby. Other babies are also begging. Lots and lots of begging going on here.